Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Let's not get Frank Leboeuf involved in the Middlesbrough chat because he has nothing nice to say about Middlesbrough. He's got some very successful history against Middlesbrough, shall we say, and he likes to remind me of that sometimes.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Oh, yes. I just have to say thank you to Middlesbrough every time we talk about Middlesbrough.
Let's get that one out of the way.
Thank you.
Right.
But you brought it up.
I did bring it up because we ended on it and I thought Frank's sitting there listening to this and, But listen, this is just a chance for me to say Middlesbrough have won 3 on the bounce. Okay.
But where are they on the table?
It doesn't matter, they're off the bottom, all right? All right, can we just have it as that?
They're off the bottom.
Frank,
Off
Ale,
the bottom,
Shaka.
Middlesbrough, right about
Thank you, Shaka.
You're welcome.
So not here.
North representative there, Mayor of Newcastle, at least helping us out a little bit. Okay, for all, could Tottenham challenge for the title this season since they have no other obligations? Frank?
I would say it's too early to say because you don't know. They are in a very good mood right now, very good spirit. They do what they have to do and what the fans were expecting for so long. Playing football, attacking football, enjoying football. So all the lights are green, but let's say the season is still long. How City is going to cope, also with the situation. We all thought that they're going to be a roller coaster for the other teams, but City and City is going to be maybe champion in February. Well, they have some downs as well, but it's possible for Tottenham to do well and to fight. But I still think that City is too strong to anybody else. But it's going to be a very good battle, I think.
Anyone else care to comment on that one?
I don't think Spurs are stronger than Manchester City or Liverpool. I know they just beat Liverpool. I don't think they're stronger than those two clubs. And to the question, I think City and Liverpool both know how to balance league and European action. They've been doing this for so long that it doesn't become much of an issue for them. So my answer is no. I just don't see it any long term.
Let me move on. Ale, when you played, did you guys ever publicly comment about officiating in the media, and were you ever suspended or fined?
There are ways of doing this where you can get very close to being fined, very close to being suspended, but you keep it general enough to where they can't quite pinpoint it. They can't quite say, oh, that's where you went too far. You get to the line just enough where you tell the referee exactly what you feel without talking about the referee. Instead, you could just say, there's some decisions today that went against us that honestly, in looking back, probably could have been better for us. And you can push it as far as you want, but you don't make it personal. You don't name the referee. You don't name the league. You don't say league officiating. You don't mention how the VAR is terrible in this league and all these things. You can get to that point without having to get fined or get suspended.
Let me just say that. No, how long have I known you, Ali? I have never seen Ali so diplomatic.
No, because I don't know. Nobody wants to get fined, Shaq.
I didn't know. I didn't know Ali had it in him.
There you go.
I didn't know.
Straddling.
He had a filter. I just didn't know he had a filter, Ali.
In certain occasions, when he means I'm going to get fined or suspended, hey, let me tell you, I can dress it up as best as anybody else can.
You learn something new every day about people.
Frank?
Me, I don't know where the line was, I don't know what the extreme of the line. So it happens sometimes that I say that the referee should have stayed home. It would have been easier to play without him. So I don't know if I crossed the line, that matters at that point. And I often cross the line directly to the referee, arguing with him on the field, say, what are you doing? But man, get back home, you're putting a mess in the middle of the field, or saying, why are you wearing not a red shirt, like playing against Manchester United, for example, or yes, doing that kind of comments. But in the media, not too many times. Maybe sometimes say, well, it was hard to play 12 against 11, and they didn't go that any further.
Can I just say, and I think Frank makes a good point, is that on the field, you can get very creative with the referee. And it doesn't have to be yelling obscenities at the referee. I remember late in my career, I knew that it was all coming to an end. I could feel it. We weren't winning. I wasn't scoring goals, right? And we're playing. I don't know whether we're winning or losing or whatever, but it was a younger referee, a guy that hadn't been around the whole time that I had been in the league. And so I knew that this was one of his first assignments. And he's having a tough time, right? And he makes a bad call and tries to make up for that call with another bad call, and it's all compounding. So I come to him walking, not yelling, not screaming, and get right next to him. I said, you know you're being supervised for this, right? You know you're being evaluated. It doesn't look good. Let me just tell you, you're not looking good right now.
Little pointed from the
You're right. Poor guy. He's never refereed again.
Oh, man.
Terrible.
Ale, who will end up with more goals this season, Bellingham or Joselu? Bellingham has 6 league goals, Joselu has 4.
I would have to imagine Joselu. I think that the rate of goals and productivity of Jude Bellingham at some point is going to slow down, and it's more likely that Joselu is going to get more opportunities in front of goal. And if he's really intelligent and smart about his movement, Real Madrid will create enough opportunities for him inside the 6-yard box, inside the 18-yard box. He's going to run into a whole lot of tap-ins. If his movement is correct, I think Joselu will end up with more goals.
All right. Shaka, who's had a better season, Onana or Raya?
Raya. Onana started slowly for Manchester United, and I don't think that's all his fault at all. Raya started on the bench for Arsenal, has found himself in the starting 11, and I don't think he's done anything wrong. In all honesty, it's been a solid start from him, so that was easy.
Ale, was travelling for the MLS the hardest part of playing in the league? Other than insulting referees.
Yeah, well, no, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, if it is about the playing part, I suppose so, that traveling wasn't great. And traveling in MLS in the early days is not what traveling is now, where they actually have charter planes and direct flights and all these things. If you weren't in a big market and you had to go and play somewhere else, you're doing layovers, long road trips, and you're not sitting in first class either. It's 22B. You know. Hey, how you doing? Good. And in early days MLS, for example, where people didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about the league, you would hear things like, when we were the Columbus Crew, for example, he's like, so who do you guys row for? What? Who do you guys row for, the Columbus Crew? Yeah, so those are the, I mean, you know, traveling, it wasn't just about getting on a plane. It's just everything that came with traveling. And we used to have a reserve league. And it used to be that if the reserve league was playing after you, if you were playing on the West Coast, for example, you would have to stay there until the reserve league finished their game. So that then you would get on a flight back with a layover to try to get back to the East Coast. So instead of being back at a decent time, either you spend an extra night or you get back at an awful time and then you have to train the next day. And it just pushes back the preparation for the next week. And those are the heat in the summer here in the United States, that's terrible as well. And for me, this doesn't apply to a lot of players in MLS, but to me, what was most difficult was traveling back to South America for World Cup qualifiers or games with my national team, and then having to do the travel back to MLS and having to catch up with my team wherever they may be.
All right.
That's it, Shaka.
That's good.
All right.
I thought you might want to add.
No, I've got nothing to add.
Are there any more challenging? Well, biggest challenge in MLS back in the early days, the pay was not nearly as good as it is now. So you talk about in my first professional contract, I was making more money coaching a team on the side, a kids team, U10 team or something like that, U11 team, than I was as a player. So you talk about challenges. The challenges were, hey, how do I get enough money to put gas in the car? How do I get enough money so that we can eat? And this was at the professional level. That's challenging.
See, Frank, you don't know you're born. Right? Okay, is it true that when you were at Real Madrid TV with Dan, y'all were roommates? Yes, it is. If true, that had to have been a nightmare. What's the most annoying roomie habit Dan had?
Oh, go ahead. Tell us. Tell us, Kay. Tell us. Don't think about it. Just tell us.
There was me, Dan, and another girl, Claire,
Go ahead.
putting his underwear to dry clean underwear along the radiators in the living room. That was obviously a communal space. Yeah.
Tidy whities?
Yeah, you don't really have, like in Europe, you don't often have, like in America, a tumble dryer, maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So, usually it's on a nice clothes horse or something out on the balcony in the Spanish sunshine. No,
But not
Dan decided to put it all along the radiator.
He would hang his.
Yeah. And with a smile.
Oh my God.
There are a few things, but I think that's probably the worst habit.
Alongside his shorts as well, because he has shorts as
And
well.
his sandals,
yeah.
and
I
the
love them.
sandals.
There's some things in life you don't want to see, and Dan's underwear is right up there.
It wasn't just on the radiator, because he also had a habit of just walking around the house in just his underwear and a t-shirt, and he would just be chilling out like that in the house.
Okay.
Pretty often, regardless of who you were bringing out.
You've just put me off my dinner, Kate.
That's a hairy little guy, too, by the way. That's a hairy little guy.
You just put me off my dinner.
He's walking around with his undies.
There were some fun days. Also, his eating habits were not very inventive either. So he would just buy the plainest, like cheap pasta, not like a really nice pasta, a tomato sauce, just mix them together, and that would be his dinner.
That sounds about right for Dan. That sounds about right.
I don't think that has changed, actually.
Yeah,
He was a very
wear
fun
shorts for
flatmate.
that.
Very fun flatmate to have. Okay, Shaka, I saw you in an ad for Visit Trinidad. I never knew you were an actor as well. How was the shooting process?
Well, I have to tell you, it was. I raised the bar. I raised the bar substantially
Present company
for
accepted?
footballers becoming actors. Yes, I did. Looking off into the distance.
We're losing credibility
What
now.
a pass that was. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me know. Somebody call the Oscar Academy. Somebody call the Academy. I'm writing my speech. I tell you what.
What does Frank have to say about this?
Well, I like the first, close up on your face, when you deeply think. I think that was an Academy Awards, picture for me. That's for sure.
Thank you.
You can go for it. You can go,
For
Shaka,
tomorrow's show, I'm going to sit in an empty theater too. Like,
Look at that face. Look at that face.
All right, well, look at his movement.
Split the pile. Look at that. You see Len Modric outside his right foot?
You know what the problem
Modric outside.
You know what the problem is in that ad is when you play football.
Hold on, look at me looking out there to the wide blue yonder. Oh, man.
I wholeheartely agree with Frank that the part about you playing, you playing and sweating, that is not factually correct. And the other thing I would say, in the second time that you're staring into the horizon, it's almost, you're a little tired by then, Shaq.
Yeah, it was it's a hard football match. I had to carry my team on my back there.
Guys, are we done with this shooting stuff? Because
That was good.
I'm done.
That was good. I'm ready.
Sweating. Did they have,
Guys.
Ready for my next
they have to
assignment.
spritz some water in your face?
No,
for the
that's-
sweat?
I bet, yeah. All his little entourage.
Beaded sweat there.
And outside of the foot passing? No.
Little Luka Modric.
No.
Little Luka Modric action.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Nah,
how can
nah.
you not visit Trinidad now after seeing that?
Well,
As you say, now that you say it,
yes.
Kay, I'm going this month.
I'm not any excuse. I think that's
you say
it. Yeah.
so.
Thanks so much for
better
sending
go.
in your questions.
I'm going!
hey, come back, Shaq. Come back, Shaq. Don't go into the water, Shaq.
Oh, I'm just looking.
Oh my
I'm just
goodness.
looking. I'm just looking.
Beautiful.
He's back tomorrow with the action skills and all the rest of it.
Ah, goodness me.
Anything goes. The game is gone.